In 1821, the rabble started painting their silver gold, and it caused a whole heap of trouble. A quick reminder before we start, visit the Silver Forum because they are giving away 5 ounces of silver in a really nice fine mint bar, and it's a competition that's free to enter. You just have to be a member of the Silver Forum. So take a look if you haven't already joined the Silver Forum. Whether you're a member or a non-member, you can still go in for the competition to win this 5 ounce fine mint bar. So take a look at that. And now we'll move on to that subject of the 1821 sixpence. So this coin you see before you is an 1821 sixpence. It's made of silver, and 860,000 of these coins were produced in the reign of George IV. He's the one who came in after George III. In great condition. They are pretty hard to find, and this one is a very beautiful MS65 toned example. If you want to buy a silver one, a knackered out one will probably cost you a £5, whilst a really high quality one may be £300 to £400. May is the month of hope, and hope is also the magic word that will get you 2% off all of your purchases this month at the Coin Connection, the company that really prides itself in quality. So back in 1821, there were a lot of these sixpences flying around. The obverse here designed by Pistrucci and the reverse by Jean-Baptiste Merlin, who was my favourite designer of beautiful shields in this period. Anyway, so the people noticed that there was a pretty good similarity between the silver sixpence and the half sovereign. So a half sovereign was 10 shillings in value. So 10 shillings and a silver sixpence, 20 times the value. And what the people decided to do fairly often was to take these silver sixpences and gild them so they looked as if they were gold, and that led to the early cancellation of the half sovereign based on a similar design. So let's take a look a little bit closer at the silver sixpence. You've got this beautiful shield, very intricate, very beautiful shield designed by Merlin, and the whole centre area of the shield is basically the same as on the half sovereign. And we'll take a look at the half sovereign in a moment and compare the two together. The pattern isn't quite the same, but you can see that if it was a dark night and you've got streets lit by candlelight at that time, and people kind of not necessarily being able to closely examine these kind of coins at all times, you can see how it happened. Let's take a little bit of a look at the arrival that I want to focus on in this video, because it's a very nice arrival, because it's an incredibly rare coin. So what you're going to see here is the half sovereign, and whilst the full sovereign in 1821 bore pretty much the same design on both sides as the current sovereigns, you have the St George and Dragon, etc. The half sovereign bore the design, which was a very ornate Merlin shield, and it was very similar to the sixpence. So let's take a look at the half sovereign. This one came in, it's actually a coin that I've added to my collection, and it came in courtesy of Sovereign Rarities, who are based in London. And big thank you and shout out to Sovereign Rarities on this coin, which is even nicer than the pictures they put up on one of the Facebook groups. So if you are interested in getting to know a little bit more about Sovereign Rarities, they do participate in some of the Gold Sovereign and collector Facebook groups, including the Numistaka Facebook group. And you'll find a link to that in the description below, and you're welcome to join up and participate in that. So how close is this half sovereign to the design that's on the sixpence? Let's take a little look at both of those together and just see how it would have looked at the time. I mean, clearly a gilded coin doesn't look quite the same as a gold coin, so it wouldn't have been everybody who was taken in or fooled by this. Here we have the regular sixpence, and here we have the half sovereign coming into view. It's not quite the same, is it? The shapes of the shields are actually a little bit different. So back to the half sovereign and this particular one. It's on the reverse, it's pretty proof-like, I think, slightly less so on the obverse, but the reverse is there's tons of kind of mirror when you hold it up to the light, and you can see some pretty good frosting really on a circulation coin. I think that's really pleasing as a coin. Be interested how this grades. It will go to NGC for grading, and then we'll see how it does when it comes out. What's your view of the grade it's going to get? So I'm kind of hopeful of anything between a 62 and a 64. To me it looks pretty good, but you never quite know how the graders are going to view it. I think the reverse is particularly nice. The obverse is also pretty nice, maybe not quite. But here's the two coins together, and you can see the two different shields. You can see that the 1821 is just to the right of the half sovereign, whereas it's at the bottom of the sixpence. So anyone who really, maybe had seen quite a few half sovereigns, and many people would never have seen any, would have seen, even at the time, if it was gilded, that it was a slightly different design. There would have been something odd about it. But quite a lot of people obviously did get taken in and complained about this, and therefore this 1821 was taken out early from circulation. And when they next bought in half sovereigns in 1823, you got that very squared off shield design, so it looked very distinctive as a coin. There were no half sovereigns in 1822 while they were faffing around working out what to do with the design. So I hope you enjoyed that. I know it's only one coin, but it's sometimes nice to focus in a bit more detail on one coin, and there'll be some more arrivals and grading results for you very soon.